This is the Fan Connection podcast where we talk all things sports and entertainment. We're your hosts. I'm Royce Michaels.
And I'm Devin Steele.
Let's get right into it.
Liv wants Dirty Dom so bad.
Liv Morgan, you're breaking my heart. You're breaking this poor man's heart. You're a slut, and you're breaking my heart. Her acting is excellent. I could definitely believe that Liv Morgan would love me.
Yeah.
And Dominic's heat is so unreal. He couldn't even speak.
Yeah, he can't get a word in, can he?
Every time he opened his mouth, they just went boo.
Yeah.
He said, "Let me talk." And so
Finn Balor had to come out and be like, "Get away from him,"
yeah,
because he couldn't get a word out. They had to send him out there, man.
I'm a little scared Finn Balor's jealous of all the attention Dom gets.
Hey, Finn Balor's got to be careful running up in there on Liv like that. She's liable to kiss him too.
Honestly, Liv, she's definitely the type. I'd let her take advantage of me though. You know?
Yeah.
Like she could I'd be a part of her storyline. That's all I'm saying. And then so we're talking about I'm thinking maybe Dominic and Liv Morgan could be a heel power couple. Because I mean, there was already Rhea and Dom, and now we've got Liv and Dom, and so I'm thinking this is definitely going to boil down to uh, another custody of Dominic ladder match.
That'd be so great. I would pay money to watch that.
I really hope that actually happens. Everybody jokes about it online and they talk about it and they think it's hilarious. I really hope it happens. So that'd be great.
But a lot of this also, they got to do something since Rhea's hurt. So yeah, I'm interested in
And
it. It's funny.
honestly, now that you've said that, now that you've reminded me that Rhea was injured, wait for Liv Morgan to step up because this is entertaining.
Exactly, bro.
She's definitely doing her job in making it right, you know.
She's got us all believing.
Yep.
Dominic's just part of the revenge tour, and we all think she's out here loving him.
Yeah, she's definitely manipulating Dominic hard. He's gonna
She
fall in
finna
love
start
with
fucking
her.
with Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman would do it too. I feel like he's like Kane and AJ Lee, right?
Yeah, right.
But let's talk about Sheamus and Kaiser's match.
First match of the night on Raw. It was a banger. I think this is leading to more with Sheamus and Kaiser. Also, I feel like Gunther may get involved more. And you know, Gunther and Sheamus only perform bangers.
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. At first, man, the banger slogan, like the little banger thing that Sheamus says, like banger after banger, I didn't really like it, but it seems like it's catching on. It seems like my opinion's the like minority on that because
Well,
it's
see, and that's where that's a good thing where this podcast has two of us and two opinions. I like the shirt.
yeah,
I truly
yeah.
thought it was something
Sheamus.
different
Oh,
that,
I
from
love the
apart from
shirt.
what he used to do.
I'm talking about like the catchphrase itself.
Oh, you think it's too basic for Sheamus?
Well, no,
Because I was thinking that at first,
I just didn't
but
really
then I
care
was like,
for it. I guess I don't
it,
have a
it,
reason.
it kind of called on like the Yeet thing with Jey Uso and the yeah with LA Knight. You know, like that's his little thing
I don't
now.
know. It's like I don't feel like I would have fun saying that in the crowd. I just don't think it's like that interesting of a chant. I really do like the new shirt though. I like the love that Sheamus is getting since he's come back. They were mean to him on the internet. They were saying he was fat and stuff. But now, you
That match
know,
itself was
now Sheamus is he is like kind of controlling the crowd, you know, kind of in a way I've not really seen from him before. Like it seems like
yeah.
he's come back from injury and he's taking it slower now. He's letting his personality work harder, you know. But I will say he still got the hell beat out of him. Like it must be rough being in Sheamus's shoes and getting into the ring with these guys, and like part of your gimmick is just getting the dog shit stomped out of you.
And it doesn't help when people like Kaiser, like, the match was good in itself, but he was working him, dude. Like, it was like, I don't know how to really explain it other than he was being like extra hard with Sheamus, like because he's bigger than him. I guess that would be why. But
He was definitely
I,
working stiff.
yeah,
Um, but it was an entertaining match, and Kaiser needed it more. If they're gonna push him as a singles player, he needs to get some individuality, and he needs to get some more TV time.
and
Be-
see how you were talking on the first episode about Randy Orton and this new realm of WWE that they have going on. Sheamus is a part of that too. Sheamus is a big he's former champion, world heavyweight champion, United States champion. He's got stuff under his belt, and he's here to put these new guys up too. And like you said though, it's just kind of hard with a character like his, that just gets the dog shit beat out of him, and that's just like how your character is. Like
yeah,
you go
don't
toe to toe with everybody.
don't get me wrong. You know, Sheamus, I love the character. I've always been a Sheamus fan since way back in the day. Um, I like Sheamus. I want him to be the champion and stuff, and I want him to like compete and stuff. But I'm just saying, it must be a hard time because he really does like people lay it in on Sheamus. He gets stiffed every match, and every time it just looks like he's in so much pain. Like afterwards, he's be like all pink and stuff, and he got
Yeah.
welts all over him. I guess
And
I
he's always
just
really sweaty too. Like you can tell he's actually going harder than a lot of others do. Because dude, after every match, Sheamus looks like he went to war.
yeah. And that's you know, and it makes Sheamus's character believable. Like the I love to fight, you know, fight night, everything else. And by the way, the camera work on Sheamus's entrance was fire, and I love the
Yeah.
fight night that Pat McAfee does when the fucking spotlight comes on. Um,
Bitch, boy, no.
I just don't want Sheamus to get in such a hurry, bro, and like be trying to like get everybody like on his side and stuff. It's like we already love you, dude. It's like you don't have to, you know, have welts all down your back.
Yeah. Also, Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, I've seen the QR code. I didn't manage to find out what it was. I'm sure it was something cryptic that nobody could figure out, you know?
Right.
It seems how it is with Bray Wyatt. It's just like cryptic nonsense, and then he shows up and gets his ass beat. So I guess we'll see, right?
Right. I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
I hope it's good, but their track record when it comes to Bray Wyatt inspired creations is not so good.
Not so great. They better hit this one on the nail of the head, cause this has got to work.
And so after this Sheamus match, there was a Judgment Day segment, and I kind of thought it was just there, kind of padding for time. It's like there really nothing was accomplished, nothing of any importance was said. Every member of the Judgment Day was just on screen for some reason, and all that was said was, "It's handled, Damien," and he went, "Okay," and then he didn't say anything else. He went, "Oh, it's handled, okay," and so I was like, "What's the point? You know, why did we need to see that?" And then subtly, I don't know if you're catching on to this, Damian Priest keeps threatening Dominic.
Yeah, I've been catching on to it, and it's more like I think Damian Priest might be about to be done with the Judgment Day, man. To be honest with you,
He might be getting too big for his britches.
Yeah, top thing.
He is subtly threatening Dom though. He's like
But
fix it
that's
or else,
but that segment also led us into the Dragon Lee and Finn Balor match, and dude, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I'm not like a Dragon Lee fan or anything, and Finn Balor always knows how to work. But Dragon Lee put on a show, and he he just knows how to get himself, in a ring and just do what he does. But he's not as high of a caliber as others.
And I'm gonna say this: Dragon Lee versus Finn Balor. Okay, and somebody's gonna hate me for this out there, because Dragon Lee, he just doesn't make money. He's talented. I'm sure the guy works hard. I'm sure he's a great guy, but he doesn't make money. He's not Rey Mysterio, and he's too similar to be on the same stage in the same group as Rey Mysterio. Is like that's like the different colored Power Rangers. You know what I mean?
Literally.
And so they put together this little video package for Dragon Lee before this match. And he's talking all this shit like, I'm the next big thing. I'm coming in. Dragon Lee's going to be the champ. And then he loses the match. He loses the match to Finn Balor. And you know what?
Yep.
They didn't have to say nothing for Finn Balor when he come out. Finn Balor didn't get no little video package when he come out. So you know what, bro? All that says to me is who cares about Dragon Lee, not the WWE, and certainly not me. But I also, man, why did Braun Strowman come out? He come out to help Rey Mysterio uh stop the Judgment Day from beating down Dragon Lee. Is like they have a common enemy, I guess. But why Rey Mysterio literally has a clique. He has the LWO. So why
I
did
don't
Braun
know. Braun,
Strowman
they
come
just
out?
they just feed Braun Strowman. So I don't know. They trying to make him and JD McDonough have a match or something. I don't know what's going on with that man.
I don't know, dude. I'm ready for it to start making some sense to me though.
Yeah, me too, man. Because I mean, like we'll get into more about Braun Strowman a little later on in the podcast, but as as it like as the weeks go on, man, they just seem to have to put him on TV. It seems like they're just putting him in random places. It's not like anything that really has anything for nothing. Like it may give him a pay-per-view match or something, but that's about it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like seeing Braun Strowman. They just need to present him better. They're just inserting him, bro. He's doing cameos, you know?
Literally, literally, man.
They just need to present him a little better. But moving on, I just want to say Sami Zayn is over. Like the crowd was loud when he was out there.
Yeah, he pretty much was trying to tell the Alpha Academy they don't need Chad Gable,
Yeah, but
and by doing that, he got himself in some hot water and got attacked from behind, quote unquote. Chad Gable was a mastermind, and he manipulated the hell out of that situation.
yeah, you're right. Chad Gable is a mastermind. But let's not forget to give credit where credit is due, because Otis finally did something right for once in his life. He finally did something
Otis
right.
Otis literally Mark Henry that guy.
He did. He did a world's strongest slam on Sami Zayn. The
Like,
Stockholm
what did
syndrome
Sami
is real.
Zayn do? What did Sami Zayn do to deserve the world's strongest slam?
And I'm gonna just put my little 2 cents in here, since that's what everybody's listening to the podcast for. And Chad Gable is right about every single member of the Alpha Academy. They just won't listen. He's right. They're all failures, and they need a coach. The streaming site where I was watching Raw has a live video chat, and I interact with people in there while I'm watching. And there was this dude. Everybody's in there talking about this segment, the Chad Gable stuff. Everybody loves talking about it. It's huge right now, and I have a great time talking to everybody. But this dude said something funny. I guess he didn't like wrestling. He come into the live stream chat and he said every little Chromebook in the trailer park is watching wrestling. He really got us. But that's pretty funny.
Yeah, that came with some. He was spitting promos on y'all ass.
But Sammy and Gable at Clash. Who do you think's winning?
I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I think it's Chad Gable's time.
Really? I want it
I
to
think
be
Chad
Chad
Gable
Gable's
might win,
time.
bro.
I want it to be Chad Gable's time, dude. That'd be so
Because think
great.
about it. Right now, we have too many faces with titles.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I would rather him win at SummerSlam, though. Who's he going to face at SummerSlam then?
See, that's my thing. That would give him more of a build. It'd probably be a triple threat match with somebody. That's what
Maybe
I
maybe
could see.
Chad Gable will win the title from Sami Zayn, and then Otis will turn on Chad Gable, and they'll have a match for the IC title at SummerSlam. And I
Yeah,
could I
I could
could
see
see
that.
Gable retaining. I could see Gable retaining over Otis. So maybe we'll see something like that. That would be cool.
And that brings us into the Ricochet and Braun Breaker match. I don't like Braun Breaker. Not yet. Ricochet's very talented, but I mean, I think it's time for him to find his new home because I don't know if you've heard or anybody else listening out there has heard, but apparently Ricochet's leaving WWE soon.
I had heard something about that. I don't know if it's true.
I'm not fully 100% yet, but if it is, it would make sense. He just dropped the new 24/7 championship. He's been kind of just getting beat up every time. You know, like he was on a streak. He beat every member of the Judgment Day 1v1. And then these rumors start coming out. Now he's losing everything, you know? If it's true, it would make sense.
And I'll say that I liked Braun's entrance. I thought it was cool because
Oh,
the
his entrance is good.
because the crowd was like barking at him. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. They're obviously gonna push Braun over Ricochet. Um, the Frankensteiner they did during the match was cool.
Oh, yeah. That was probably one of the best spots of the match.
And dude, they've got to stop giving people the spear as a finisher. It's being overused now. Literally
Dude,
everybody does the
literally
spear.
everybody uses it. Even
Everybody does
Jay
the spear.
Uso's using it. Solo just used it. Like everybody's using the fucking spear. They steal it from everybody.
Yeah, and it's just not good, bro. It's like we don't need everybody to do the spear. That's like if you do an exceptional spear, that's when you use the spear, not if you can just do it.
Like they need to start using the spear as the 1, 2, and then almost 3 when they kick out at 2.5. That's what they need to use the spear for,
The
just to
spear
give you
the
that.
spear
Like
is
they need to
going
quit picking win over a spear. That's annoying to me.
yeah, the spear is going to slowly become the new super kick. It's just gonna have less and less impact every time somebody hits it. Um, but talking about Ricochet, and he lost the Speed title, and there's rumors he's leaving. And you were saying that you don't blame him, and it's like, well, if you ask me, just Ricochet's kind of work style, the way he works in the ring and presents himself, he was not presenting himself as a top card guy. He's doing too much risky stuff, and I mean, he's the guy who looks flashy and cool so somebody else can go over him to get to the spot that Ricochet wants to get to.
Right.
And so, I mean, he's stuck, bro. If he's stuck and he thinks he can do better and he can make more, if not the same amount of money, it's like, I don't see why he wouldn't leave. I would want to win a world title. What titles has Ricochet won?
Besides the IC title.
Was he an IC champion?
Yeah. Gunther beat Ricochet to start his reign.
Oh, okay. Um, it's definitely crazy that they couldn't find something better for Ricochet to do, but he's too risky to really put a lot of commitment on Ricochet.
His moveset's just a little too dangerous to almost because like pretty much, dude, if you're gonna headline WrestleMania, they know that before SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? They know who's gonna headline WrestleMania. If you can't keep yourself healthy and strong until then, they're not gonna put you on it. They're not even gonna think about giving you the spot. You know?
But we're gonna get Ilya versus Braun next week on Raw. And that'll probably
I
be
just
a
want to
good
say,
match.
Braun Breaker about killed him with them steel steps.
Yeah, Braun Breaker is obviously gonna be the guy going over. He's going over Ilya. He's going over Ricochet. They're obviously pushing Braun to get to the main event picture at some point.
I think Ilya will beat Braun Breaker.
Well, he might, but I'm talking about in the end when it comes to who's going to make the most money and who's going to sell the most merch and stuff and who's going to win the most titles, in the future. I think Braun Breaker might be one of those guys.
Yeah. Like you feel like they may be building him to be the next Brock or something.
I think they have a lot of confidence in Braun Breaker. He reminds me of when Roman Reigns was, being starting his solo run after the Shield. Is why I say
Right.
that. Um, we're gonna go into the piss break match.
Literally, that's what
Natalia,
I call it, bro. No
Natalia
offense,
versus
but
Kiana James.
Natalia is literally Bret Hart old. No one really even knows who Kiana James is, so like that's just a stale match in itself. Nobody gives a crap about Natalia anymore, and nobody knows Kiana James to know her.
Yeah, I do not
So
give a damn about Kiana James. Her promo was trash, and I don't know if you caught this, but there was no pop. There was no pop on her entrance. So that told me right there
mm,
is like, who is this? And I mean, the crowd wasn't on fire or anything, but I mean, there was no reaction whatsoever. No boos, no cheers, no like, what's going on? Like they just didn't care.
and also every time Natalia comes out, she looks 30 years older.
That's mean. uh,
I
she
just can't with Natalia, man.
she only comes back to put people over. If you see Natalia in a match, it's like she's like I it is mean, bro, but she is kind of the locker room granny. Like she's there to kind of, you know, put people over and teach
She's
them.
literally the weird cat lady that just knows how to wrestle. Like I'm sorry, but I don't like Natalia. But that's enough on that piss break match. I don't even want to talk about her no more. But Carlito versus Braun Strowman is what we got up next. I'm just gonna say Carlito doesn't belong nowhere near the Judgment Day.
He's simply just a vessel to get to where we're at with the LWO and the Judgment Day.
Strowman also needs a better finisher, man. I don't know, like I think we talked about it before, but he did like a backwards choke slam on Carlito to win. And that's not gonna cut it for him. He's too big to be doing some simple shit like that.
And he does a running power slam too. I mean, that's not that cool either. Why doesn't Braun like do the jackhammer or something, he could do Goldberg's move.
That's what I'm saying, man. He needs to do some like actual monster among men move, not a damn backwards choke slam.
Like one-handing somebody looks cool, but it also isn't really that impressive. I mean, they're just falling. They're jumping up and then they're falling.
Mm, it wasn't that good of a match anyway. Carlito's just
Got
he's trying to, like you
squashed.
said, he's trying to put a spot on that.
He got squashed. And then Braun was whooping up on the Judgment Day, bro. He was taking them out like one by one, but then they jumped him. They jumped his ass. They jumped him bad.
We have Liv protecting Dirty Dom over
Yeah,
there.
Liv got in the way to save Dom, and that allowed for the opening. And the Judgment Day, like I think let's see, there's Carlito, Dominic, Finn Balor, J.D. McDonough, and Damian Priest wasn't a part of it. I don't think.
No.
And so that's four guys, and they jumped the hell out of Braun Strowman, hit him in the knee with a chair, like
JD
everything.
McDonough got his big God, dude. JD McDonough fucked that man up with that chair. He got his get back so fast. I was like, this is why he been chasing JD McDonough around for 2 weeks so he could do this.
Yeah,
He's the
honestly,
smallest guy in the Judgment Day.
there's a little bit of payoff for what we were complaining about with Braun Strowman chasing JD McDonough around.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're finna let JD McDonough get a push. And I like, we was also talking about that earlier. I'd love to see him, do something with himself because I mean he works, man. He's a good. He does his character the way you should.
I think he could figure it out, man. I think they just probably need to get some more confidence in him. I think
And
they're
I ain't even gonna
comfortable with
lie.
where he's at right now.
If you pay attention to the crowd when JD McDonough's like doing shit for the Judgment Day, the crowd's starting to really get behind him too.
I like JD McDonough. Um, so yeah, Carlito is not really doing anything. He's genuinely just kind of getting beaten up.
Yeah, and that's about it.
And so I mean,
Mm,
that's about all for the LWO. Women's Tag Team Championship match. Well, I mean that's cool and all, but does anybody really think that they were gonna lose to Shayna Baszler and what's the other one's name? Zoe Stark. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Does anyone really think that they're gonna win the women's tag team champions?
I do not.
They don't sell anywhere near as much merch as Bianca Belair. I've never seen anyone want to go to like the WWE Superstar meetup and be like, I hope Shayna Baszler is there.
Yeah,
But
and I didn't even know Zoe Stark's name to be honest until like we were doing the podcast.
and so I mean, it's cool that they're getting TV time, bro. But they're not really making good use of their TV time. They're not making me care.
They need to build a tag team that can go toe to toe with Bianca and Jay because Bianca was a champion for a long time. You can't just have some random mid card tag team beating them. It's not going to happen. So I guess that's why they're doing this with the Alba Fire. And I don't know her other partner, like the Alba Fire girl. I don't know her partner's name, but
Isla
that's
Dawn.
why they're making, yeah, they're making them look so like aggressive, and I kind of like that because we need that in the women's division.
I hope that we can get some more personality in the women's division, bro.
Because we got all the stuck up ones, and everything. Like we need some like actual like don't give a fuck.
But yeah, and in my opinion, Jade Cargill is presented well. Her entrance is cool. She's always got a good attire and stuff. But Bianca Belair is always going to be the bigger star out of the two. And
Plus, Jay Cargill is botch city.
Yeah, she's not a good wrestler yet, and so I mean it's only gonna end one way. Jade Cargill is gonna get jealous. You know what I mean? But I think after that, Jay Uso come out and declared himself for Money in the Bank, right?
Jay Uso, yeet, for Money in the Bank.
I seen somebody they said it would be a yeet case if he won
Hey,
if he
I'd be,
wins.
I would buy it.
That's so crazy that he got over on the word yeet.
100%. No one else can compete with Jey Uso right now. Not anybody they could put in a ladder match with him. Like
Nobody
they may
nobody
put like
that's been
somebody like Finn
declared.
Balor. Like somebody like Finn Balor could be a good filler with that. Kevin Owens even on SmackDown. Like this could be a pretty good Money in the Bank. But also I've heard they're doing Money in the Bank at SummerSlam, which is not this next pay per view, but the one after that. How do you feel about that now, man?
I didn't know about that until you told me a little earlier on, and I mean, I don't suppose I'm that upset that I don't have to wait to see it, you know. But I do enjoy like the Money in the Bank pay per view. Why are we skipping that?
That's what I'm saying because it does. I mean, to me, I like it because it's new and everything. But in the same sense, Damian Priest just cashed in his briefcase. You see what I'm saying? So like, we're already getting another one. And plus, just think them doing it earlier leads them so they can hold it a little bit longer. If it expires at WrestleMania, and the Money in the Bank is won at SummerSlam, you hold it pretty much all year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
As opposed to it being in I think it used to be in some of the colder months, and then that's closer to WrestleMania, you know?
it seems like more and more people are cashing in their contract at WrestleMania too. It's like
Yeah,
they're just waiting till the end of the year. And so
We need
if the
somebody
Money in
like
the
Kane to
Bank,
just come in and cash in on Raw or something and win because that dude, nobody ever gets to witness stuff like we witnessed it when we were kids. When we seen people
yeah, no, you got
they
to pay
win it and
for it
cash in
now.
the next day, you know?
I'm just saying that the strategy has changed around the Money in the Bank if it's being moved to SummerSlam because that's so shortly after WrestleMania. Keeping your briefcase all the way till WrestleMania might not be your best bet anymore because right around the corner you're going to have to worry about that same briefcase.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess maybe them changing the Money in the Bank match to SummerSlam will change the way the Money in the Bank contract is being used in the storytelling.
But I also think it's definitely got potential them doing it this way as well. It's all room to grow. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I'm not angry about it.
But
I
right after
thought Jay Uso's promo that he actually cut was kind of garbage though.
it wasn't the best, but he was in the crowd, so maybe he couldn't keep he couldn't keep his damn memory right or something. Because I could only imagine how hard it'd be cutting a promo in front of the crowd compared to being right in it, you know.
Yeah.
But right after the Jey Uso declared being in the Money in the Bank, Io attacked Lyra.
Yeah, she's still salty about the Queen of the Ring and everybody else has forgotten already.
That's pretty much what I was getting from it too, man.
uh,
But Damage Control's not even doing anything right now, man. I mean, they can't really lose the steam they had
and
going on. They were selling all kinds of
And
shirts.
that's kind of what I'm thinking as well. We've got this huge tag team squabble going on where there's three different teams on Raw fighting for the belts. Where's Damage Control? Why are they not concerned with getting the belts?
Unless one or more of them's injured. I heard Oscar got injured, so that might be one of the reasons why.
Man, that would stink. I really like Oscar.
Because I did hear that when I seen that Bobby Lashley and all them were on the injured list, Oscar's name was on it too. And we haven't seen Oscar in a minute, so I believe it.
But
Then our main event are all, man.
well, we got the tag team action between the New Day and the AOP before the main event. Because the New Day versus AOP, Karrion Kross, they were teasing that Kofi Kingston might turn heel.
Karrion Kross said you won't have to worry about Xavier Woods anymore.
Yeah, and he kind of like left Xavier Woods in the ring, and the AOP pinned him. They hit their tag finisher and pinned him. Seems fine and all, dude. And honestly, the New Day gimmick is stale anyway. If they break up, I won't cry about it. I just don't really think we needed a Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods match, unless they're gonna
Yeah,
do
that's what I
something
was
with
gonna say.
Xavier Woods.
I didn't even remember that match. That's how much it didn't matter to me. Like, cause the AOP and Karrion Kross, they're not doing shit with them anyway, and the New Day ain't done shit in a long time. So like, really, I completely forgot about that match.
Yeah, they're genuinely stale, and the AOP is nothing. So I'm not surprised. But now we can talk about Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest.
That match was pretty decent. It had me entertained.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Damian Priest though, it's like, why does he need help every single time if he's meant
I
to be
think he
this
could carry.
champion?
I think he could carry himself pretty decently on his own.
I think so too, and Rey Mysterio is giving him a hard time. Old man Rey Mysterio. And I mean, not to discredit Rey Mysterio, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, when are we going to see what Damian Priest can do as champion rather than what the Judgment Day can do as champion? It's
Yeah,
like
that's fact.
Damian Priest is not standing out to me. He's like, oh, it's still he's the guy from the Judgment Day, you know?
Do you think they maybe pulled the trigger on him a little too early, like they do on others sometimes?
I don't know about that. I just I feel like he just looks like not like he just doesn't stand out to me. And
He doesn't carry himself like the guy to me. That's how I see him.
he
Like
does.
like Seth Rollins was the guy for that title, and then he like now Damian Priest has got it, and I don't see the same aura coming off of him.
And he's just not standing out to me as champion. And honestly, if he does lose to Drew at Clash at the Castle, nobody will remember this title run.
No, but it'd just be everything they cut a promo about against him every single time after this. Now that's
Mhm.
going to be what it gets him.
Yeah, but
But I mean, I did like the spot after though when after the match was over, Drew McIntyre tried to like get his nose in Priest's business in a way, and then you seen what they got him.
yeah, put through the table. But I mean, Drew was doing well. He's defending himself against the Judgment Day pretty well, and then he just ended up getting caught. Same as Braun Strowman, you know. And they jumped his ass too. If anything, I'll
Could we
say the
see Drew
Judgment Day
McIntyre?
can jump the hell out of people.
Could we see Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman versus every member of the Judgment Day?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. They don't have anything better to do with Braun Strowman. But that is Monday Night Raw for June 3rd.
That that concludes our Monday Night Raw one. Switching over to SmackDown though, we have the Bloodline Anointment ceremony for Tonga.
Yeah, and they like kind of give them titles. They like were properly like put into the bloodline now or something.
Like more or less addressed in a way, a sense.
Oh, okay. Um,
So we got a right hand man, and what is what is the other one going to be called?
the infamous Tongaloa. Tamatonga,
Infamous.
the right hand. And
So that puts
Solo
Solo sitting
Sikoa,
at the
the
head.
tribal chief, head of the table.
Yeah, that leaves his old little brother Solo Sikoa sitting at the head of the table.
But
I don't know if I like that.
we cannot ignore the "We want Roman" chants.
But as of right now, I better not hear Solo Sikoa tell us to acknowledge him because I'll pull up on him.
I think we all may have to acknowledge Solo Sikoa before it's said and over with. I really liked Paul Heyman out there. He's funny, man. Thank you for saving me, Tamatonga. Thank you for saving me, Tongaloa. This is great. Paul Heyman's
Paul
always a treat.
Heyman he's comedy gold, man. Like the day he dies, they might just put every segment he was ever in the WWE archive vault and never let us see it again. And that's what I'm really scared of because he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
The
and
day Paul Heyman dies, they're about no Paul Heyman for you.
and didn't Paul Heyman say that Solo Sikoa was only the tribal chief until Roman Reigns returned?
That's literally what he said, man, until Roman Reigns returns. And that's when everybody started chanting, "We want Roman" so loud. Like it was louder than when they first came out there.
That's crazy. Um, yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I really don't think Solo Sikoa will relinquish his power when Roman Reigns comes back. Not willingly.
Solo also, so like while that was happening, Kevin Owens and the Street Profits come out and kind of broke up the anointment ceremony. So Solo wanted a 6-man tag team match. So backstage, they told he was talking to Heyman, and Solo was like, "Well, you get this 6-man tag team match happening, or it's going to be Heyman versus Tama Tonga in the locker room." And I just thought that was so funny, man. That was probably one of the funniest things that Solo's ever said. Like, I wish he could be like that in the ring.
Solo is definitely getting more comfortable, and I can tell like in the ring. He's having a good time, like he's having fun, you know? And so I'm ready to see more bloodline stuff. I'm interested in the bloodline again.
Yeah, it definitely got the gears turning in my brain for what's up next.
But we're gonna move into Bianca and Jade versus Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell.
I think they just don't know what to do with these women. Like,
The
obviously,
tag
they're trying to
division's
get
in limbo, bro. It feels like it's in
right.
limbo.
They're trying to get these other two girls established that jumped them on Raw, and it's really not working, dude. Because I mean, you can't have a former women's world champion out there with this apparently like superstar of an athlete that they make Jade Cargill to be, and then you can't expect somebody like Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell to beat them, man. You know,
Yeah, they don't have any stars in the women's tag division that can convincingly beat Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
not for the titles at least.
And I don't know if you saw the tag team finisher that Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill did. It was pretty crazy. And it looked cool, but it wasn't like as fluid as it could have been. It kind of looked like they were figuring it out a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely need to work on their chemistry together as a tag team because that's going to help them in the long run with what they're doing.
But I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens in the women's tag team division, bro, because right now I just am not that interested. Go.
So next up, we had Johnny Wrestling versus Grayson Waller. This to me was the best match of the night in my eyes. John, Johnny Wrestling, I don't know why they call him that because he botched a couple times, man. But other than that, Grayson Waller's moveset has really improved, and I liked a few of his moves.
Yeah, Grayson Waller kind of impressed me. I had never really seen him do anything like that. But you're right. Gargano was botching, and he did this one move on the outside of the ring, and he practically dumped himself on the back of his neck, and it
Yeah,
looked scary. Like even Michael Cole on the announcement, he went like Jesus Christ,
yeah,
like it looked like he broke his neck. And the ring work was crazy, man. That they were just doing anything. Like you didn't know what was coming next in this match, right? It's like it was a
yeah.
crazy like kind of exchange, little sequences and stuff.
It was pretty fast paced, and I thought it was pretty good.
But
Grayson Waller caught the dub, but it was kind of sketchy because at the end of the match, Waller pulled Theory into the dive by Johnny Gargano, and then that's what caused Waller to win. And then like that's just crazy that they're trying to build the Theory and Waller match when they lose the titles. I think.
yeah, so now DIY is 1-1 against the champs. So are they going to get a tag team titles match or what?
I don't know, and that see that's the thing. Theory lost and Waller didn't. But in our eyes, we've already talked about this on the last one. Theory's better than Waller.
Yep.
We've already established it. He's already established
At
it.
least in terms of resume. After seeing Waller work in the ring like that, I haven't seen what Austin Theory's truly capable of either. But
But to me, that was one of the better matches of SmackDown. I really enjoyed it. They worked it pretty good, and
definitely
like I said,
entertaining.
Johnny's Johnny did botch a couple times, but his botches were more on himself, so I can't really get mad at him for that. Like you can go out there and fuck yourself up all you want to, as long as you ain't fucking everybody else up.
That's true.
But moving into the bigger news on SmackDown, Cody wants AJ Styles to say I quit.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't expect that like an I quit match out of nowhere. I'm
Also, I
here
think it
for it
was you
though.
who told me. I think it was you who told me. I might be wrong, but AJ Styles is undefeated in our quit matches, right?
That's what I heard. I did not fact check it. He
And plus, the last match they had was a banger. So I mean, there ain't no way this isn't going to be something we're interested in.
Yeah, I genuinely think that this will be a good match, and it kind of Clash at the Castle. I would not say is a huge event, and I mean it kind of helps me be like, wow, I really need to see this, the main of it, like the I Quit match. And AJ Styles has good heel energy, bro. Everybody was complaining when he turned heel to feud with LA Knight, but now everybody's having a good time. So what's up?
And and speaking of heel energy, I don't know if you noticed, but Cody was going after the security. Like he hit the security.
Yeah, he
Are we
shouldn't
on
be
the?
doing that.
Are we about to see a heel Cody Rhodes soon?
If he's a face, he should not be attacking security like that. That's crazy. Because he just assaulted like 9 men.
And then still got beat up.
Yeah, he didn't even get to AJ Styles. It was all for nothing.
Like he phenomenal forearmed him through the damn ramp, and then like AJ Styles was doing some shit like, "What you gonna do?"
And people online were really comparing AJ Styles to Batista in that promo. Because he was saying, he's like, that's what I want. That's what I want. He just kept saying that. I don't know, man. If AJ Styles is truly undefeated in an I Quit match, and he's been in them as many times, if not more, as John Cena. Um, this should be good. AJ Styles should be right at home, dude. And when AJ's comfortable, I mean, we get a good match. Cody Rhodes is when he's comfortable, we'll get a good match. I don't think these two can put on a bad show at Clash at the Castle.
But also something you've touched on too. Cody does need to be more aggressive. Maybe not towards the security, but as a champion in a whole, he needs to be more aggressive.
You're right. He definitely that sort of thing is what he was missing. I feel like because people were complaining that his title run was boring after he had won at WrestleMania. But of course, people are going to say that. We've just come from Roman Reigns and The Rock and John Cena and The Undertaker back to Raw with guys like AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre, which are big stars. But it's like we're back down to earth. WrestleMania is big, 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 and I mean, Raw is just getting ready to conclude these storylines and stuff, right?
Right.
It's the exposition, the why. And so all I'm saying is I would like Cody to have that aggression, but he's not working. That's not face behavior to me.
And right after the little brawl they had with security, and they got that all cleaned up, we went backstage and found out that at Clash at the Castle, Jade and Bianca will have a triple threat tag match for their titles against who was it? Was it Alba Fire and her partner, and who was the other tag team?
Shayna Baszler
Because
and
I'm not
Zoe Stark,
sure. It's got to be, I guess,
Candice
because we're not.
LeRae, Indy Hartwell, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they'll try to pick the best one out of them to face Jade and Bianca, but we've already touched on that for real. Like none of these girls right now are going to beat them for the tag titles. I don't see it. But then
Yeah,
that leads us into the Hayes versus LA Knight match, and they had a good little segment, but they both kind of messed up on the promos.
I
I
thought
really
it.
don't like Carmelo Hayes that much, but I think he might be the next Corey Graves. I might be going out on a limb saying that. People might hate me for saying that, but that's what I see happening. I feel like he'll have one good injury and then he'll be on the mic for the rest of his career.
And honestly, bro, like that might not be that like ridiculous of a prediction. The the yeah chants were ringing out. LA Knight's still over. I was a little bit afraid that Carmelo Hayes would beat LA Knight, and I'm sitting here wondering why they're not hitting the iron while it's hot with LA Knight still. He needs something, bro. Like put him in, like give him something.
That's what I'm also thinking. Because Carmelo Hayes, I mean, he needs somewhere to be, but they're trying to push LA Knight. Like Carmelo Hayes ain't going to get over fighting people like that. You know what I'm saying? And for him to be the newer guy, he needs to get over. He doesn't need to lose a bunch. Talking like he's like his whole scheme is I'm him, and he's coming out and losing to everybody. Like you're not him if you're losing.
Yeah, you definitely lost, my friend. But both promos on good side, both good promos on both sides. I said that backwards.
But
Um,
then after that,
with
Wade
Logan
Barrett
and
is
Paul.
such a goat, man. I don't think Wade Barrett knew that the LA Knight was finna take his headset like that. He truly got he was about to give that man some bad news. That's all I got to say about that. But the promo he hit into the mic was pretty good.
I
He
like
said,
that.
"If
Yeah,
Logan Paul won't come to SmackDown, I'll bring the SmackDown to him."
and Logan Paul returned fire though. Like I said, I thought both of those promos were good. Logan Paul stole his catchphrase. Logan Paul, yeah.
Yeah, we finna see a new Tetris champ in that one.
So I'm excited. I want LA Knight versus Logan Paul for the United States title.
You think LA Knight will be the one that gets the win over Logan Paul?
I don't know. I really don't see
Because
Logan
I
Paul
feel like
dropping the
I
title.
feel like if Logan Paul loses his title, he'll get the rematch clause, and then he'll win the next one type thing.
Maybe so, yeah.
Because they're gonna keep him in the title picture no matter what, just because he's so like. There's so many people that don't like wrestling, but like him and go to the pay-per-views just to watch him fight, you know?
Yeah, that's probably true.
And they don't see him as PLEs like we do. Like they just like, you know, like it's not the same for his fans as it is for like a John Cena or Randy Orton fan, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But that's also good because it brings more eyes into this. And like, I ain't even gonna lie, man. Maybe even Logan Paul's the reason we get the TNA thing happening because I mean that brings outside eyes.
That'd be pretty crazy. The Piper and Bailey segment. It's just
Piper Niven is not winning over Bailey.
yeah,
It
it's
it
just
is sad
boring.
that
It's
we're
just
gonna be able
boring.
to say nobody from the UK is coming home with a title.
Yeah, because I'm afraid Drew McIntyre is going to lose. Piper's going to lose 100%. And so I guess the Scottish people are just going to have to be angry. There might be a riot in that building.
They're not gonna let them ever come back there for Clash at the Castle. Like next year, we probably won't even have that pay per view because of this.
And I had heard that a show was leaked with Damian Priest. Like it was a date. It was a show after the date of Clash at the Castle, and it was leaked that on the card Damian Priest was still the world heavyweight champion. So in my mind, I don't think Drew's winning.
It'd be hard for me to believe at this point right now. They're not really pushing Drew McIntyre to be the world champion as hard as they are for him to face CM Punk.
And
You know what I
it
mean?
definitely doesn't seem like they're making it that big of a deal either that Drew McIntyre is facing for the world championship again.
But back to the Piper Niven thing. Bailey's just, I mean, she's so much better of a competitor than Niven anyway, man. So like we talked about earlier, the only way I see Piper Niven going over Bailey is if they're trying to set up Piper Niven versus Nia Jax because they're just two, no offense, but bigger, slower women that could work better with each other. If you feel me,
That would be interesting, but
like
it
that's the only way I could see them doing that. Any other way, Bailey's gonna win, and her and Nia Jax are gonna have their like. I think this would be their third or fourth match. That'll be like a big match, you know. So it could be good too.
I just
It's
don't
just
think Piper's name is big enough for SummerSlam.
also did I don't know if you've seen, but there's a backstage segment with Nia Jax and Me Chim, and she slipped like four times, man, trying to hurt that girl. Like, she slipped, fell, got up, slipped again, and then, like, threw her over the table,
Yeah, I
slipped
remember
again,
that. She just like pushed her and the person like oversold.
and then, like, she slipped, like, four times, man, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, like, this is garbage, like, you cannot like, are y'all airing this?" You know? Like, it made me, like, question, like, you know, like, is Nia Jax gonna be able to perform at SummerSlam? Like, this is SummerSlam
I hope she'll turn
for
up her
the title.
performance. I've said it before that Nia Jax has a problem where she doesn't really dial up her intensity or her performance at the pay-per-views. She's wrestling like she wrestles on Smackdown.
Yeah, yeah. So I see them just letting Bailey keep on going through Clash of the Castle with that because
I think so
I think
too.
ba- I think Bailey sells more tickets at SummerSlam than Nia Jax right now, especially after that slip. Because I mean, if they're gonna, the dude, they literally got rid of Top Dollar. They started. Michael Cole said Flop Dollar, and it was over for him.
Ooh,
Like you're the queen of the ring, and you're out here slipping on a cup of tea. You know, just didn't seem. You know, they should have played that a little different because it made Nia Jax look less of aggressive. You know.
definitely.
And then that led us into our main event, talking about Kevin Owens and the Street Profits versus the fake bloodline.
The fake bloodline. I think maybe they're the real bloodline.
You think it's coming back around, huh?
I think maybe they're the only bloodline we got. You know,
The fake bloodline is garbage. We want Roman.
everyone does want Roman. I want Roman,
The
but
match was pretty good itself, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't know why the Street Profits are putting their 2 cents into it, other than they just don't have anything else to do right now.
I don't get that
But
either.
it was pretty solid because like Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, they are like good wrestlers, bro. Like they play their parts.
And I will say, Kevin Owens looked good, dude. He looked like
Yeah,
he
he
had
was
lost
phenomenal.
some weight, and his athleticism always like surprises me. He busts out like a swanton or like all this crazy shit out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. you,
Yeah,
you know?
literally. He'd be out there hitting Canadian destroyers randomly.
Yeah, it's crazy that the
Hell
match
yeah.
ended in disqualification, but I guess we should have probably seen that coming, right?
Right.
But in the end, the bloodline beats everyone down, and they
Yep.
stand tall. They point their little fingers up. I salute them. I acknowledge Solo
So,
Sikoa.
so now, so now we finna have to acknowledge Solo, and then Roman Reigns ain't gonna like that, and
Yeah,
then we're gonna see who really gets
I will
acknowledged.
say that though. I will say this. I'm acknowledging Solo, and I've also acknowledged Roman Reigns before. And when it comes down to who's the tribal chief, and they have their match, and I point my finger up to salute, it's going to be hard to decide who it's for.
You might just have to put your right hand up for one and put your left hand up for the other.
Maybe so.
Nah,
Did you see the Shield power bomb?
that was lit.
Yeah, the Bloodline used the Shield power bomb.
And that was words from the tribal chief.
Yeah, probably so.
He was like, Solo, hit the shield power bomb. He was like, by words of the tribal chief, I'm putting you through the announcement table, Kevin Owens.
And I've just got something to say about the Street Profits. We're talking about we don't know why they're here. And bro, Montez Ford is the more talented of the two in the Street Profits.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's better than Angelo Dawkins in every way. And
On the
they
mic, performing,
they try
everything.
to make Angelo Dawkins this freight train guy in the ring, right? Like this powerhouse, and Montez Ford is the fast high flyer. But you know what, dude? Angelo Dawkins, he's not even like really that ripped. Like I think he
He's
slacks in
not.
the gym for real, bro. Like he doesn't work as hard as Montez Ford, if you ask me.
And Montez is like he's got comedy gold in him too, bro.
He's
Like
he's
he's a good
he's got
actor.
charisma. I mean, he
Like he
could get
makes me want
over.
to watch him.
He could get over on his own, and I think the sooner he realizes that, the better his career will turn out.
Like I ain't even gonna lie. When we talk of future WWE, I see Montez Ford being like I see your U.S. title in the near future.
Well, I'd like to see it happen, but he's gonna have to ditch the dead weight. Because
Oh yeah.
could Angelo Dawkins get over by himself? I don't
He'd
know.
have to stay. He'd probably have to stay with Bobby Lashley and BFAB to be as successful as he is right now. You know.
Yeah, I'm not sure he could make it on his own.
But switching into other things, sports entertainment. I know we both have a couple topics we want to talk about. Uh, my topic is Nick Nemeth is the new king of TNA. He beat Frank Kazarian, and that we're not too familiar with TNA wrestlers, but Frank Kazarian's been around for a minute, so his nickname is literally the King of TNA. So that's all we need to know on that is he's the new guy.
Well, it's about time. He's a hard worker, old Nick Nemeth, and he deserves his time.
And also, I don't know if anybody listening, and I know me and you probably didn't know it, but Nick Nemeth has a brother named Ryan Nemeth, a little brother. We almost had Ryan Ziegler in the WWE and nobody even knew it. But he's got a little brother in TNA that wrestles with him too, and I just think that's so cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. It
Cause
seems
like
like
fuck, I
TNA
would
is
leave
heating up.
WWE. I'd leave WWE to get to wrestle with my brother. You know, that's cool.
And I had no idea that TNA was getting like so popular again. I had no idea that Matt Hardy was on TNA again. And it's like, why have I not heard anything about broken Matt Hardy?
Like we might have to make our podcast 30 minutes longer to talk about it if it keeps on getting up there.
And so, also at NXT, apparently, Sexy Red, she's this female rapper. She was at the event. She like made her entrance and everything, and she was part of the show. But she ended up like getting kicked out because she smelled like weed and she was twerking.
She brought that stank dank with her and got kicked out.
She was twerking. You can't twerk on WWE.
She came out there in her entrance and like threw her butt cheeks 2 times, and they were like, "Get out."
Get out.
And she was out there. She was out there presenting the new title for the women too.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
You know, Shawn Michaels got in hella trouble for that one.
No, Shawn
But did
Michaels
he?
was into
But
it,
but
bro.
did he? Shawn Michaels, the sexy boy, did he
He
get
was
in
into
trouble? I
it.
don't
No,
think he
he was
did.
having a good time.
Because the last I seen, he was after the show. He was in a limo with her, and they were singing
Really?
his song. She was like, "Sexy boy," and he's over there in his cowboy hat dancing.
Shawn Michaels he's a Christian man. He can't do that.
He's so good. But yeah, I mean, I think that's about it for this podcast, man.
That is
That's all I
the
have on my side.
current events of sports entertainment.
If you have any questions, comments,
Straight
hit
from the
them with.
mouths of the Fan Connection podcast. It's pretty crazy.
I'm your boy Royce Michaels right here, and you got my boy Devin Steele.
And you know what? We're out of here.